Today is all about gardening. So we're going to plant over there, we're going to plant over here, and basically we're going to do a lot of planting. Kids are going to come down in about an hour or so. I've got to haul some compost to where the kids have been weeding during the week for me while I've been at work, and I'm just gonna, for now, instead of hauling the compost, I'm gonna just get some plants ready so when they come down we can just go and start planting stuff. Every day I come down here there's like this massive cobweb. I don't know if you guys can see it. But sorry spider, but it's the wrong place to be. Okay, and here is where the kids have been weeding. I don't know, I didn't get a before shot, so I apologize for that, but this was just a weedy mess. Like the weed fabric and the walkways does make a little bit of a difference, but it does flood probably. These beds sometimes flood over, but they've weeded these two beds, and I'll put some compost there. That's about a cube of compost in just that one bed, and I've got some compost on the truck to put on this bed, and they have been slowly weeding out that bed. See, you've got heaps. This is what it was like in all these beds, and like over there, all that jungle over there, that was what it was like over here. So it's going to be tomatoes and stuff there. Today I'm going to get some stuff out of the greenhouse and go put it in the other garden, ready to go. So the plan down here with this trellis is I have my giant sunflowers, which is kind of like what I used to do every year. So I'm going back to that. I've got, I'm pretty much going to have them growing up each of these posts, galvanized posts. So there's 6 of them. It's going to be 6 Russian giant sunflowers, and then we've got tomatoes, which I have to look at the varieties, but see if they're kind of cherries or if they're big ones, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to put them down here, maybe spaced sort of maybe 200 to 300 millimeters apart. So what's that, sort of 8 to 12 inches apart. And then I'm going to put cucumbers in the midst of it, maybe on the other side of this trellis. I'll see how I go, or I might just plant everything on the other side of the trellis. Because on this side I have planted carrots with my little bike. So yeah, so I've got that ready. Now I've got to haul some compost, and then I can get the other gardens ready for the minions. So the kids are still not down, that bed's done, so we've now got 3. Okay, Adina's my cameraman, so Adina's down here. The rest of the kids aren't yet down here. 3 beds are done, ready for planting. We're going to end up planting in the heat of the day by the looks of it. But me and Adina might go, we might get some net ready. And we're going to net the potatoes, and we're going to plant the corn that we've got in there. It's like pretty big now, ready to plant over by the potato patch. So we're going to plant them in there, and the netting's just to stop the geese and the ducks and the pukekos from getting the corn, because they will get them. Okay, let's go. So this is our chicken netting. I think everyone's going to be glad that this is out of the way, because everyone's getting tangled feet and everything, especially Theo in it. We haven't yet locked up the chickens in there. As you can see behind you, the chickens are everywhere, and even earlier in the week they were all in that garden, which the gate's open anyway. But yeah, we've got to sort out some fencing, because as soon as we plant all the stuff, we do not want chickens going and digging it all up. All that hard work of raising our own seeds and getting compost and planting, it's just all a waste of time. So hopefully we can contain these guys, we can contain the garden, and it'll be a win-win, because Enzo won't go chasing them. But for now, let's get this over to the potato patch.
What are you guys doing there? Explain.
As you can see, all these potatoes are starting to come up. We've got 8 rows here, and I think the kids, Adina, did you guys do this row?
What?
Did you guys do this row? This one here?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? Oh yeah. So it's just this little half down here that you guys didn't end up doing, eh? That's all good. Because we're going to plant.
It looks like there's a potato coming up.
It might be one that was there last year. That's why we're kind of keeping this as a potato patch yearly. I don't know if it's going to do well with pests and stuff, but we'll see what happens. It's just a trial and error kind of game. But I think once I fence this, I'm just going to hill these up a little bit, and then I'm going to bring in some compost from over there, and then I'm going to plant the corn kind of in between the potatoes. I'm going to give them quite big spacing, because I don't have that much corn, and then yeah, it's just going to be a trial and error. See how we go. I think it should suppress the weeds, and the potatoes should keep it cool down below. Isn't that what's going to happen? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I could do like beans as well, but maybe. We'll see. First, fence. Fence is up. I have no idea if it's going to keep the poo geckos in, because as Adina kind of pointed out, they can fly. I can already hear them. They're up in our food forest. Kind of scared to plant stuff up in the food forest, because I feel like they're going to just rip them out of the ground, but I think they're preoccupied with the kikuyu grass at the moment, so they are a problem, but not a problem yet, hopefully. But I'm just going to get a wheelbarrow of compost and put it over here, ready for planting the corn, and then I'm going to start maybe doing a little bit of hilling. I've got to find the tool for that, so we'll see. I've done the hilling now. I didn't hill it up too much. I wasn't even going to hill it at all. But I'm just going to put like a little bit of compost with the corn when I grow it. I'm not going to put a whole heap of compost. Plans might change, but we'll see how we go. For now, I'm going to go up, have some morning tea, and then bring down all the minions. That's the plan. We can get planting. So I'm back down here. I've got the corn already, or the compost ready to get the minions to work. So the wife's down here, Raven's down here, and all the other kids are slowly making their way here, and then I'll put them to work. Okay guys, we're going to plant the corn, and you're going to plant it this far apart, look, maybe that far apart, each corn in the middle of the row, and just make sure it's not hitting a potato plant, okay?
These are in the middle of the row.
Yep, the potatoes, so you're going to go like in the middle of the potatoes, where the potatoes are, you know, and just put a little handful of compost when you plant. So use your little spades you got, and then just plant them with it. Can I, you guys alright with that?
No.
What'd you say? Show them. Yeah.
Do you want me to show you guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just want to dig a bit of a hole.
Look at that.
Dig a bit of a hole a little bit deep. And like maybe that deep, and then you want to grab your corn. Okay, you just got to make sure you poke. You got to make sure you just pull it out gently. Okay.
I can pass the corn to people maybe.
Yeah, maybe Mum can pass you guys the corn, but yeah, they're a little bit tricky to get out.
Yes, I'll give them
And then you want to put the corn in, and then you want to just put a little bit of compost around them, and then put them down a bit. Okay.
Where's your compost?
You're gonna put it in, and then you're gonna grab. Then you're gonna grab a big handful of compost, and then put it around
Here's your water.
like that,
This one?
and then just press it in gently.
Yeah, but you want this
Okay, make sure it's straight. Okay.
banana.
Potatoes.
Hush.
Closing in the side.
It's all that thing's complete. Everyone's working faster.
It's a dinosaur. Hey, why are you spying on us?
For nothing. Yeah.
T-Rex get you. So we have done. So we have planted out 5 rows with the corn. It's probably the wrong time of the day to plant, but yeah, got to take what time you can. So this is what time we got. There is 2 more rows extra. I think we're gonna later on plant them by seed. So we'll do a row of seed, and then they'll come up later. Hopefully the birds don't pick them out, but we're going to plant some more in the greenhouse as well. But for now we're going to go out for some lunch. It's boiling hot, and then we're going to come down and we're going to get into the tomatoes and the other 3 beds and plant them out. They should be a lot easier than this bed because we have to add dirt and everything in here. But yeah, I think maybe I'll put a bit more compost like around the potatoes, and that it just looks a lot cooler. So we'll see what happens. But for now, gonna go have some lunch. See you guys soon. So I'm back down here. This is the first thing that we're gonna plant is this trellis. None of the kids have come down with me. It is pretty hot, so I'll let them away with it. Maybe they'll come down later when we plant the old garden, but for now I'm gonna plant these. The tomatoes are looking a bit sad because they've been out in the sun. Probably gotten too hot, but that's all right. Once they're in, they'll get watered in and it should be right. So I'm going to plant cucumbers over there, and then I'm going to plant tomatoes the rest of the way with sunflowers going up these posts, and I'll eventually tie them onto them, and then I'll put some runner beans in between as well. And yeah, in front there we've got carrots, so I think I don't even need to plant anything on that side. If the carrots come up, everything needs a good water. But for now, let's plant these cucumbers. Okay, so the tomatoes, there's a mixture of everything in here. I think first off I'm going to go with some cherry berry. They're basically like a cherry tomato, I think. Tomatoes are fairly hardy, so if they do wilt in that, they should be pretty sweet to come back again. Pretty hard to kill, even though I have killed them before. And I do plant them pretty deep because pretty much everything on there can become roots, so basically the deeper the better. Oh, and I am cheating using some Tui tomato food. So usually I plant eggs under my tomato plants and just crack them, smash them up, but we don't actually have enough eggs for ourselves and for the garden like we used to have. We used to have a ton. So this year it's just going to be some tomato fertilizer. So I'm just going to put like a handful kind of underneath and then plant them real deep so they got nice good roots, even though they are going to get quite supported by this trellis. And I plant my tomatoes pretty close, so don't need to plant them as close as me, but they're probably like 150. Normally I go like 200, 300, but I just use my grids as a thing, and it's about 2 grids apart. Maybe I shouldn't go as close, but don't really care. I like trial and error. As you grow, you find out what works and what doesn't work. So I think I'll plant out all the cherry berries and then see where I get to, because I've got the other garden to plant other stuff, other tomatoes. So yeah, I think I'll just do a lot of cherry berries, then I don't have to label everything. Okay, and just like that, that is planted. Oh, actually, I'll just get some dwarf beans, shove them in the front here, and then I'll be done. Just wait 1 second. So these are our bean seeds. These are bush beans, and we've got a jar of runner beans. But I just went and planted them in front of this row of tomatoes and that here, and I planted them probably this far apart. Now I've already seen the birds watching me plant them, so they're probably going to pick half them out, but that's alright. We probably only want half of that amount anyway, but yeah, we'll see what comes up. But that's this bed done and dusted, so now we can go onto the other bed, and hopefully soon kids might come down and help me. Okay, so with this garden I've got 2 beds. I've already got these trellises. Probably should pretty them up a little bit, but not today. Today I've got some more tomatoes to plant, so there's probably another 20 on each row. And sort of realised I would have liked a bit more variety in the other garden. I think I just got honeybee and the sugar plum, 2 cherries, so the kids will love them anyway. But I think in this garden I'm going to go all big tomatoes on this side, and then all smaller tomatoes on that side. But I'm going to mix them up, and then I'm going to use you guys, the camera, to kind of, instead of putting tags everywhere, I'm just going to backtrack on the camera and see where I've planted stuff, if that makes sense. So first up I'm going to plant Chef's Yellow, and I think I've only got pretty much only got two plants, so plant 2 Chef's Yellow. The next 3 black cherries. The next 6 Sunrise Bumblebee, one of my favorites. 5 Sugar Plum, and then I've got 2 more Sunrise Honeybee, and that's it for that row. All cherry tomatoes. These ones in this row over here I just planted. These ones are all beefsteak tomatoes. So those are Boy Oh Boy, 3 Boy Oh Boys. They're red ones. These ones are Chef Choice orange ones. These ones are 3 black crim, so they're like a real dark red tomato. And then these 3 down here are vintage wine, which have got cool colorations on the side. And then these 3 here are ox heart, so they're the biggest tomatoes you can get. Well, they should be, so it'll be interesting to see how big they actually get. I'm going to fix up this trellis a little bit. I'm going to get some cable ties from up the top, and of course I am going to be planting on the outsides of these. So I've already got some zucchini over there that looks dead, but I better go out for some dinner, and then I'll come back down and I'll see if I can bring some minions with me and plant the rest of this, and definitely give it a water. It's hot. So I came back down here after dinner with Debs, my lovely wife. She's currently feeding Breeder some of the willow, just to give them a bit of extra feed. So we planted zucchini on this outside row, and we are going to put beans, dwarf beans, on the ends there, but we're going to try to stage it with the other ones, so every couple of weeks we've got a row of beans, and then we'll always have beans basically. But yeah, so we've got the we planted some more sunflowers and on each post, kind of my trademark, and then we planted some pretty much just some leftover stuff I had in the greenhouse, which is some red onions, brown onions, and then some silver beet down the end. So pretty much just got this bed to plant here, and yeah, the tomatoes do not look that great, but I gave it a good water, so might give them another water in the morning. But I am thinking maybe we plant beetroots all down this row, and then I might plant carrots down the other row. Might do it with my bike, we'll see what happens. But for now it's getting pretty late, and I've got to go and water the rest of the stuff that we planted. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Look out. What are you doing in that strawberry patch, boy? Did you find a strawberry? Wow.